Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Marco here. Marco is a golden doodle. He's right at 5 months of age. He's been here for a couple of weeks, part of our vacation dog training program. I actually trained his lab sibling at home, and Marco has done a wonderful job. He's a sweet guy, very affectionate, mild-mannered, a tinge on the submissive side, but that's okay. What we want to do is when we have a puppy like that, we want to make sure that we're very positive with him. You know, when he's doing the right thing, we motivate him with our voice, with our spirit, with our actions. When we do have to get on him, we want to make sure that our consequence is not real loud, verbose. If we provide a consequence with the tap of the leash, it's going to be a light one. If we have the play biting problem, which we have had, again, it is light. We start everything very light. He's very young in age, and time's going to grow in the next month or two that we can step up if he continues to test our boundaries. The biggest thing is to be consistent. Praise him 20 times more than we bite him or provide a consequence, and praise those moments when he's relaxing, when he's around your children and he's not jumping and biting. Let him know those are things that make you feel good. He's just a baby now, okay? And I tell everybody that I work with, this 3 months, 2 months to 5 months is really more like puppy do's and don'ts. We're really teaching him the things that we want in life. We utilize treats. We utilize fun and activities and things like that. And again, the consequence is more secondary right now, okay? What we're going to do, though, is we have worked him for a couple of weeks now, and we're going to go through the obedience. I'm still going to provide a consequence. Just watch the nature of my consequence and watch what I do with him. And listen to my voice and just see how I communicate. Marco, you ready? Let's go. Atta boy, good boy. So our let's go is our walking command. Just as with any other dog, he's a puppy, we walk. If he started to step out, there's our consequence. Atta boy. Light taps right now. Let's go. I turn. He's still expected to watch me, okay? Good boy. Good boy. Pet and love, taking the time to praise him in between commands and during the commands that he's doing what we want. So remember what our let's go is. He's walking by our side with us, okay? If he starts to pull, we're going to tell him no, let's go, and provide a light tap. As we go on over the next few weeks, if he continues to try to pull on you, we start moving up into consequence level, and we'll go from like a half consequence to 1 to 2, and so forth and so on. Good boy. So why did I praise him just then? He's sitting right there. He's looking at me, which we always want our dogs to look at us, and we want to let him know we're real happy. Okay? So we'll go, let's go. Sit. Atta boy. Good boy. Sit is sit, of course. He has to hold the sit. Not going to keep him in sit for a long, long time. Break it. Okay? But when we ask him to sit, he needs to sit and hold it for us. Sit. Good boy. Notice the timing, even though that time I didn't reach down and pet him. I could have given him a treat then, but I chose not to. Let's go. So you see, I went from sit to break to sit to let's go, okay? If he did not sit, I would tap the leash again, starting at that low level, no, sit, and then good boy. So if I have to bite, I have to provide a consequence. I am going to do it. When I tap the leash, I'm going to tell him no, and then I'm going to repeat the command, and then I'm going to come back and praise. The reason I praise afterwards is to let him know I am pleased with the resulting action, even though I had to provide a little consequence. All right? Now, watch this. Break. One of the things I'm doing with him when I'm breaking him and stepping back, this is the release command for break, is I'm encouraging him to want to come to me. I want to be the center of his universe if I can. So I'll go, break. And he comes up, I'm going to pet him and love him. He does very well with the come command. I believe you have worked real hard with him as well at home, and he gets real excited. We're going to do the come command in just a few minutes, and I'm going to talk about some of the things that are going to be very important with that. Let's go. So you understand the SIT. We'll turn back around. Let's do it. Sit. Good down from in front, hand signal right up in front. He looks like a bear rug right now, or a dog rug. We put him into down, he's supposed to down. He's supposed to hold that down until we release him, okay? I don't want him smelling the ground or picking up rocks or doing anything along those lines. If he did that, I would tap the leash, provide a consequence or a bite. No, down, and then good boy again. So he can hold that. Down is great. We want our dog to submit to us. He's already a submissive dog in general, so that's not a big deal. He wants to please, which is a great trait to have. The next thing that we do, and he's there until we release him, but we're not going to keep him there for a long, long time. Now, break. Release, come up. Good boy. Let's go. So we did the DOW in from in front, down. Good boy, from the side. Next thing we want to try to do as he gets older, a couple of times a week, is stay. Now I've told him to down and stay. When I tell him to stay, that means pack his bags, you're going to be there for a while. He can smell the ground, he can chew a bone, he can have a toy, something like that, as long as he stays in the down command. Now, of course, if he started tearing up something, chewing something we didn't want, we would bite that, provide a consequence, and no, down, stay. When I say stay, I want him to be there at least 2 minutes, okay? We'll do a down stay in the middle of the room for 5, 10, 15 minutes. We'll walk around him, over him, and stuff like that. He's learning that people aren't going to hurt him and that they're going to do what they need to do, and he needs to do what he's supposed to do, which is to remain in a down stay, okay? I use the open palm for stay. So down from the side, down from in front, okay? When I do the stay, we've actually started working with Marco where he's loose. And when I say loose, he's not in a command. We walk out of a room. As we walk out the door, we tell him to stay. He's got a leash on in the beginning. If he was to walk through that door, we would pick up the leash and go, no, 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 back into the room, stay, and go back again. If we walk through the door and he stays in there, we're going to praise him for that, okay? Attaboy. And when we come back, we may even give him a treat. And we're going to go over treats here in just a second. We may give him a treat reward. When we do give a treat, we want to make sure we praise, both verbally and physically. Verbal and physical praise are so important, and we can't do it enough as long as it's genuine and sincere in the moment. All right, buddy. So he's laying on the leash. Let's go. Good boy. So we've got our let's go. We've got our downs from front and from the side and in motion. Down. Good boy. He hits it really well. I'm really proud of him. That's such a good boy. Now if I wanted to, there you go. Give him a treat. Good boy. Treat, pet, love. Break. Good. He is a little bit of a treat crazy guy. Now, notice I started doing the down, and he's trying to be a little more submissive right now. So we don't hang on that. We try to be positive and upbeat. Attaboy, good boy. And get him back out of it. As I've told in many videos, down is the most submissive command a dog can do. You ready? Break. Next, I'm going to do the play. Places to get on the bed, lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what he does as long as he stays on the bed. He'll easily do this for an hour or two at a time. We can give him something to chew on. Your kids can get on the bed and lay with him if you like. His job is to stay there on that bed. Okay? If your kids, your children, daughters did get on the bed with him and then got up, and he got up, we would provide a no, no, no place consequence because he's not allowed to get up until we release him, okay? Again, he's good for this. He's a puppy, but he's already doing this for a good hour or two at a time. Ready? Attaboy. Break. Let's go. Come on. So the next thing what we want to do is the COME command. As I said, he does this really, really well. I'll use treats for this also. Good. Let's see. Good boy. So he was looking for a little praise and treat just then because he's been wanting to pounce on the cats. And he's starting to learn that they can be his friends. Attaboy, break. Sit. Good. Now we're holding the sit. Next thing is the COME. On leash and off leash. I'm going to do my hand like this here in just a second. And then when I do it, I'm going to tell him in a very positive manner for him to come to me, all right? When he comes, he's supposed to sit when we're doing on leash. Come. Attaboy, good boy. So I could have used a treat for that. Come. He still sits. I give him the treat. Pet, love, break. Now, if I gave him a treat, or I started petting him on that come, and he got up out of the sit, we would bite him. No sit. Because on leash, our come command is to come and sit for us, okay? He has to stay in that sit until we release him. So another way we could have done that is, and he's not in a command there, he's all right. So, down. Come. Break. And then give him the treat. Don't want to step on the assailant. Good boy. Notice when I gave him the treat, I didn't give him the treat like this. He can be, he gets turned on by treats, okay? And what we don't want him to do is become a little alligator or piranha snapping, no, at the treats, especially with children. So what I tell my clients to do is put the treat in their hand, and when they're ready to give him a treat, if he starts to snap at it, little tap, no, easy. If we want to say a word, back, no, easy. Good boy. And then we open our hands, let him take it out of our hand. Good boy. We pet him and love him. Break. See how that works? So we want to make sure, first of all, I wouldn't give him a treat unless he does something. Sit or down or come or do a handstand. I don't care what he does. We try to give him a treat when he does what we ask him to in that moment. Really important. And then secondly, I would never give him a treat unless I handed it to him. I wouldn't throw it on the ground unless we're doing a special trick or command, because one of the things that's happened with this guy, besides the little piranha mouth, is he would immediately, after I gave him a treat, look for the ground. That tells me that we dropped or threw the treats down on the ground an awful lot. I don't like a dog picking stuff off the ground. Why? Because there are many dangerous things that could be there. I want him to understand the only thing he's getting off the ground is a treat, is a toy, or a treat, dog food or a toy, and that's it. I don't want him picking up rocks or things that we don't know are there. Good boy. Attaboy. You notice how he was sitting there watching me? It's probably a little operator error. I could have much quicker applauded him and praised him for that. But one of the things that did happen with him looking at me for so long, when I did praise him, he just got reaffirmed for looking at me for more than a few seconds. Okay? So now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to try to emulate off leash. If he's in your yard or in the house somewhere and you want to reinforce this command, what you would do is you would not tell him to come unless you knew he was coming. So off leash, we're not 100% certain, all right? So what I would do is get his attention. Marco, hey, look what I got, right here, Marco, right here. You got it, Marco, right here, you got it. Come. It's a little bit harder dragging the leash. Good boy, break. I'm going to do it pretending like we had it because he was a little unsure what to do there with that leash on him, okay? And that's from being able to walk in the house. In the beginning, you want him dragging the leash inside or the tab, but in the first couple of weeks, you want him to grab the leash. You want him to drag the leash so that if he does get up on a piece of furniture or if he does walk out of a room or break a command or get up off the place, you can grab it and take him back to where he needs to go. All right, buddy, let's go. So I'm going to try to get his attention off a little bit. Hey, Marco, come. See, it was much easier for him to come then. Attaboy, break. because he didn't have the leash up under his feet and he didn't feel like he was doing something wrong. So the come command, off leash, if you notice, play it back, is, attaboy. I got his attention, and when I got his attention, I tried to get him to come, enticed him with a treat or toy, and I did not tell him to come until he committed to coming to me. I like to say when he commits to coming to me, he's in a happy state of mind. We know he's going to obey. He knows he's going to obey. That's when we put that command in. When he gets to us, we pet him, love him, give him a treat, release him. But we never do anything that he would consider negative once he comes to us. We want that come to be golden. And quite honestly, he's a puppy. As he gets older, he may test, but he's one of the best off-leash or on-leash come command dogs I've had. He does it with such fervor, and he's just really excited to come to you. Let's go. Get up, lazy dog. Come on. Let's go. So the next thing we're going to do is the load up command. This is especially important for loading into cars or things along those lines. We typically will go to a car, we'll have him sit. All right, load up. Attaboy, good boy. Right. Once we got him in the car, if he's assigned to a seat, it would be a place command. It wouldn't be sit or down, because it's real hard to maintain that sit or down in the car, especially if you're driving, it would be place. Notice I pointed. I pointed there for the load up, and I point there for the place. They are both the same hand signal. Good boy. Right, let's go. Come on. So the last thing is the heel command. The heel command is putting him in a box beside us, okay? His job is to stay in that box. Our job is to keep him in that box. This is probably one of the hardest commands he's had, not from the point of really not wanting to do it, is wanting to do it and not sure what to do. So what that means is repetition, repetition, repetition. That's with any command, folks, that we're dealing with. If he's not sure or having a hard time, we try to keep coming back to it, okay? And when he does it right, we want to make sure we reward, especially if they're having a hard time with a toy or a treat or something along those lines. So our job in the heel is to keep him here. His job is to stay here, okay? If he starts to move out of that command, out of that command or out of that box, I'm going to tap him back into the box as a heel. Hey, buddy, sit. Sit from down, sorry. You notice I asked him to sit while he was laying down, still the same hand signal. Here's our heel. Heel. Oh, we got a cat right there. I step off, see how he's coming back into the box? Good boy. And you see I could move off. I'm going to give him a treat. I just said, right, if he's having a hard time or if he's not sure, that's a great way to give him a treat or a reward at that moment in time to help cement what we want him to do. So we're back again. Of course, we have Salem there. Heel. Step away, cat's in the way. Turn, 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 turn. And notice when I turn, I didn't stop in the, good boy, I didn't stop in the middle of the turn because he wouldn't have been right beside me. Now, if he starts to nibble for the treat, we're going to bite him. This way or this way, okay? Attaboy, D-O-W-N from the side. We can do that in the heel. Once we stop the heel, he has to sit automatically. And he has to hold that until we break him, or in this case, we go to a different command. This guy is a great guy. Great. Let's walk back over here. He's a great guy. He's done a great job with his obedience. Like I said, he wants to please. He's really mild-mannered and sweet, but he's still a puppy. So no, he's going to get carried away at times. We want to reward the good behaviors. Even the subtle good behaviors now is so important to let him know these things that we find very pleasant for us. So if he's laying over there chewing a bone and not bothering Luca or not bothering the kids, and that's a good time or a good moment for us, we want to praise him to let him know that we like that, okay? Then when he is playing with your daughters and he's being nice and friendly, not jumping, not nipping, we praise that too. We want him to know the good things, the good interactions to have. As I said, typically with most dogs, This 3 to 5 month stage is really light. It's making sure that we teach what we want him to learn. And it's only natural as we get to 6, 7, 8 months, he's going to start to test a little bit more. That's where we have to be a little more determined with our timing, our praise, and our consequence, okay? But right now, very light consequences to tell him what we want. That's all that's needed. Probably the strongest consequence you'll give is for the play biting or jumping if he does. He's done a wonderful job with us on jumping, but we have seen the play biting a little bit. And that again is part of being a puppy and then having the treats and showing him the proper way to handle the treats. You know, if you need me, you pick up the phone and give me a call. 336-945-3232. Jim Hodges Dog Training on Facebook, JimHodgesDogTraining.com on my website. I really appreciate it. You know I'm here for you, and if there's ever anything I could do for anyone, just let me know. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.